Welcome to today's exploration of a grim chapter in the annals of recent British history, a period marked by oppression, resistance, and the harsh realities of an empire's force. Today, we delve into the turbulent 1950s in Kenya, focusing on the British colonial government's severe and controversial tactics against the Kikuyu people during the Mau Mau Uprising. The setting of our story is Kenya, a jewel in the crown of the British Empire, rich in land and resources, coveted by the British colonizers. The Kikuyu, Kenya's largest ethnic group, traditionally farmers and herders, found themselves increasingly dispossessed of their land as British settlers moved in. The situation worsened dramatically after the Second World War, during which many Kikuyu served in the British forces, only to return to find their lands further encroached upon and their rights more diminished. Grievances mounted and crystallized into a formidable resistance movement known as the Mau Mau, a name that struck fear into the hearts of the colonial establishment. The Mau Mau sought to reclaim their rights and lands through a series of guerrilla warfare tactics targeting both the colonial authorities and the local settlers. The British response was swift and severe. In 1957, the colonial administration, under the guise of Operation Progress, initiated a strategy designed not merely to quell the insurgency, but to break the spirit of the Kikuyu people. A British colonial governor at the time spoke of the necessity of a violent shock to tackle the hardcore adherents of the Mau Mau movement. What followed was a brutal campaign of detention, where more than 1 million Kikuyu men, women, and children were rounded up and placed in barbed wire village compounds and concentration camps. The official purpose was re-education and control, but the reality was far more sinister. Inside these camps, the detainees were subjected to unimaginable atrocities. Reports from the time and investigations that followed painted a harrowing picture. Detainees faced beatings, torture, castration, starvation, and systematic sexual violence. Men and women alike were vulnerable to assaults that defy the bounds of humanity, including sexual abuse with implements such as British bayonets. The colonial government's justification for such treatment hinged on the perceived need to eradicate the support base of the Mau Mau. The camps were not just centers for containment, but were intended as tools for breaking the resistance. The colony's Attorney General at the time remarked that the conditions were distressingly reminiscent of conditions in Nazi Germany or communist Russian gulags. This stark comparison underscored the severe human rights abuses occurring under the veil of imperial authority. Stories from survivors and from those who witnessed these events provide a visceral understanding of the suffering. The psychological and physical scars left by such treatment were deep, impacting generations. The goal was to eradicate the Mau Mau and to serve as a stark warning to any who dared defy the colonial rule. Yet resistance did not wane. The Mau Mau forces refused to capitulate to British tyranny. The spirit of the Kikuyu, rather than breaking, grew stronger, fueled by the injustices endured. The Mau Mau Uprising became a symbol of the struggle for Kenyan independence, a poignant reminder of the cost of freedom and the enduring spirit of a people oppressed. As we reflect on this dark period, it is crucial to acknowledge the narratives of those who lived through it. The blending of oral histories with archival research provides a fuller picture of the impact of colonial policies. It is a reminder of historical atrocities, the brutal realities of imperial evil, and the resilience of human spirit in the face of overwhelming adversity. Thank you for joining us in this reflective journey into Kenya's colonial past. We leave you with the hope that by acknowledging and learning from the past, we pave the way for a future grounded in understanding, justice, and reconciliation.